Hey guys, this is Donnie with Standing Goats Rescue, and I'm here with my brother Chris. He's got the channel Claghorn Outdoors on YouTube, and we're just getting his channel up and going. And told you that I'd get up with Chris to kind of let him explain the type of videos that he's going to be putting out, and I'm going to help him along the way until he gets his foot in the door and figures out how to do some of this. It took me a long time. I had nobody to guide me when I was learning, and you guys that have been with me from the beginning, you know what kind of train wreck that was. But I've had a lot of good help, especially through you guys, through the comments, the constructive criticism, a lot of guidance from you that has pushed me where I'm at now. And I just want to help Chris get his channel up and going. And if you guys are just browsing on the internet, jump over there and subscribe to him and help support him. His channel's going to get big. It's going to grow. It's going to be boosted up. And I'm pretty sure in the long run it's going to far exceed where our channel is at. And he's just going to have a variety of different things he's going to be sharing with all of you. And he'll be sharing a lot of his life with you guys like we do. You know, we share our life at home and at Standing Goats Rescue. But this is Chris Claghorn from Claghorn Outdoors. And did you want to kind of give us an idea about what type of content?
It's going to be about hunting and fishing and scouting. Probably going to be walking through the woods, see if we can find any Bigfoot activity. It's going to be about family. My kids, they're a little high strung at times, so it's going to be a little challenging to get them both on the camera, you know. But we're going to try.
Yeah, with children, things can be they can be pretty hectic at times. Chris's little girls are really good. They're wonderful kids, but he's got a little one, and she is a firecracker.
She is. She's 4, but she's just as smart as we are. You know, she's got a way with words. You know, she
absolutely does.
She's a mess. You know, she don't say bad words, but she knows. Believe it or not, she knows big words. You know.
Yeah, she's put me in my place a few times. Yeah, we've got Chris and I are going to be doing some videos together this year. I've got the drone back. You guys know that I had got the drone and then I crashed it, and it kind of bit it for a while, but it's been replaced, and we're going to be using the drone and a bunch of the other equipment that I have until he gets on his feet to where he can get the equipment that he needs, where he can go out and do a lot of this stuff on his own also. But we will be doing a lot of videos together, and he'll have his version of it from what he films, and I'll have my version, and he'll have his version on his channel. But one of the things that he's also going to be filming is a lot of the stuff that we find out in these swamps that is evidence of the big guys being there in the area. And you guys that have been with me for a while, you remember a year or two ago I was telling you about the buck that I shot and I couldn't find him. I was right on the edge of the swamp. I have a hard time distinguishing between red and brown, and the deer I shot was on the pine straw and I could not see the blood. Well, Chris had called me. If I'm in the woods hunting, he's out there with me somewhere, and he called and said, "Did you find the deer?" And I told him, "No, I haven't." And well, he come over there, and within 2 minutes he found the blood trail, he found the deer, and we went up and laid hands on the deer, and we give thanks to the deer, give thanks to God for blessing us with it. But we heard something coming from behind me, and I had kind of shared some of it with you guys last year, what we heard in the water coming toward us. We never seen nothing, but I'll let you hear it, because Chris was with me that day. And as I was praying over that deer, I heard it coming, and I was trying to stay focused on that prayer, because you guys know that I will not cut a prayer short. If I'm praying, I'm going to finish it regardless of what happens around me. And he grabbed me on the arm and kind of patted me, and he had heard it. It was really loud. And I hurried up, got the prayer finished. We never did see anything, but I'll let him explain to you what he heard and how he felt. It made me nervous. It scares me. I know what's making them steps, but I'll let you hear it from someone different. Do you remember that day?
Yes, I do, Donnie. And when we had found your deer, you was praying for the deer and praying, thanking the Lord for the harvest. And I did hear something. I heard footsteps. And it wasn't just footsteps through the woods. It was, we was pretty close to the swamp. It was footsteps through soft terrain, with a little bit of water in it on the ground. Kind of sounded like a human walking. It wasn't soft footsteps. It was pretty heavy.
Very deliberate.
And it sounded as if it was probably 50 to 75 yards away from us, but it was already dark. And I'd heard Donnie shoot. And when I texted Donnie, asked him if he found his deer, it was getting dark, and he said he hadn't. So I told him that I was on my way so we could find it before it got dark, because we didn't have no flashlights. And I know that, I didn't have mine. I wasn't sure if Donnie had his or not, but I'd got down, I went over there, we found Donnie's deer, and like I said, as Donnie was praying for it, that's when I heard the footsteps. And I kind of tapped Donnie on the arm like this, and I pointed. But Donnie had his eyes closed, he was praying, but I knew that he heard it too. And after he got done praying, he had told me that he did. And we was discussing on what it was, and that's when we had kind of figured that it was one of them big guys,
Yeah, without a doubt. The steps were loud.
It was, and it kind of had a presence with it too. You know, as if you're walking, and you got somebody there with you, but they're not talking. You kind of feel the presence of another being there, and that's the feeling that I had.
And that feeling that we were being watched. And I don't know if you remember, but you had said, "Do you think it's the game warden coming up?"
Yeah, I remember that.
What it was, it couldn't have been, but it just, at the time, Chris hadn't seen anything up there yet. And in regards to the big guys, he hadn't seen anything. He's seen some of the structures they build. He's seen some of the trees that are snapped off. And I think you've seen the footprint, didn't you? Or on the horseshoe road?
Yes, I've seen some footprints.
And the area where we get a lot of the activity, this deer that I shot was probably 50 yards from that area. I mean, we were right on it. And he said, "Do you think it's a game warden?" I said, "There's no way that he could have got to us, because the way that Chris came in to meet me there, that's the only way to get into that part of the woods. And he would have absolutely passed the game warden to get back there, but it's not a marked trail. It's an area that we know by doing it over and over again, going into that area hunting. But the steps, it sounded like he walked up close enough he could see us and watch what we were doing, and it sounded like 8 or 10 steps, and he stopped and was in my mind I could envision him staring at us, and then he turned and walked away from us. And it was just an overwhelming, creepy feeling that someone was watching us, and that presence, what Chris was explaining, you could literally feel a pressure, and it was to my back and to Chris's left side.
It was, yes.
But you could literally feel like a pressure on you. It was just a really strange event.
If it was the game warden, he would have had us because he was close, and whoever it was, whatever it was close enough to know that we was there. And if it was the game warden, you know, he'd have known exactly where we was, and he would have got us and questioned us and done his thing. And that didn't happen, so I know for a fact that it was not the game warden.
Yep, and
But
it came from the water.
It came from the water.
He would have had to swim. It's so deep out there where he come from. Someone our size, our physical height, would have to swim through probably 15 foot of that area. It's really, really deep. Chris and I actually tried to walk around that area earlier this hunting season, and it went over 18-inch tall boots, and it was not flooded in there. But during the time when I shot that buck, it was flooded back there. And that's the reason I hunted in that area. I was right at the edge of the water, and with the swamp filled up, the deer travel right there on that edge to prevent from being out in the wide open. And that's why I sat down in there. And this thing come to us from the water. And then there's a few areas where it's just wet ground, and it's all the little divots are filled up with the water. And when he got in that, it sounded like an overgrown, if you imagine a 250-pound man stomping through the mud puddles like a kid playing in the yard. That's kind of what it sounded like, but he was walking. But it really loud splashes, and it was just a strange thing. But that area, we've seen a lot of structures in there. Chris has found some and wasn't sure about it and pointed them out to me, and I told him my opinion. I think it's the big guys doing it, and now that he has an idea of what a lot of that stuff looks like, which I learned from you guys, he's been finding more and more. But he's going to be filming a lot of that also, and he'll be posting that on the channel, just sharing his life, what he does. He's an outdoorsman, a true at heart outdoorsman. When they go out on the water, he does not bring his children into the woods for obvious reasons. Their safety is his highest priority. But fishing is him, his wife, his children. They go out on the boat, they go to the riverbank, they fish together a lot, and he'll be sharing a lot of that also. And you'll probably find videos where he's got his little girls catching big fish sometimes. He sends me a lot of the video clips when they're out there, and it's so much fun to watch stuff like that. Even if you're not there in the moment, you feel like you are when you watch a video where you're sharing in that excitement. But he'll be posting stuff like that, and there may be a lot of educational stuff. Chris does a lot of repair work for people, and houses and fences, and
I do
a little bit of everything.
I do. I've got a painting company. We paint and remodel, and I've got an environmental company as well, where we clean up hazardous chemicals from truck wrecks or chemical plants. But I'm trying to work my way away from the environmental company. You know, there's too many
the fees have went astronomical in that.
Yes.
The cleanup fees.
Yes, and there's too many precautions you got to take. You know, there's just so much at risk. You know, one wrong move, you know, can cost somebody their life. You know, and if things aren't cleaned up a certain way by a certain time, you know, there's very, very astronomical fees that I can be penalized with. You know, and it's just not worth the risk no more. You know, I've done it for a couple of years, and it's good money, you know, but just the dangers, you know, overweigh the values.
Especially as a family man, you can't risk coming home with something on your clothing. I could see that, and hugging your little girls, and now they got second and third degree burns from it. That would be awful.
Well, you know, my youngest child, like I said earlier, she's 4 years old, but she's got some severe allergies, and she's got chronic asthma. So her allergies triggers her asthma, and she's been in ICU 3 times since she was born because of her asthma. Well, we're finally getting everything figured out, You know, it took a few years, but we've pretty much got it under wraps that her allergies is what was triggering her asthma, you know, and any perfumes, things like that.
These chemicals you're around.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
She's got a lot of food allergies also, and that's part of the reason I've been hunting more often here past couple of years. You know, is because the deer meat, you know, gets us through the summer, because she's allergic to a lot of different foods. You know, there's a lot of things. Probably about 70-75% of the foods that we can eat, she can eat. And everything outside, literally just about every plant she's allergic to. So the hunting gets me through that, but with her allergies, you know, I just got to get away from that industry.
Entire line of work, period. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would make sense. But we're the end goal, and I've talked to Chris a few times about this. We've talked this whole past year about it, and unless things change, his end goal, he wants to build his channel up to the point that it becomes his full-time job in the future, to where, you know, his work would be with his family, you know, at home, out on the water, out at the creeks, at the rivers, the lakes, doing things as a family and sharing those videos and what they do. There's so much satisfaction to watching children land these 30 and 40 pound catfish and these redfish and these just gigantic fish. It's memories that the child never ever forgets, but it's that type of memory, sharing it with others, it brings so much back to our childhood, you know, what our parents done with us. And we didn't have the technology back then to video it and upload it, but that's sort of the end goal where Chris is aiming at, to where the videos, he's transitioning from a full-time working side over to the video side of doing the YouTube and putting the videos out, and to where the videos there will be more and more, they'll be coming at a more steady pace as time goes, but it's a learning phase. He is new to the editing, just the entire field, everything in regards to YouTube and the filming, the editing, just the whole process. He's new to it all, so it's a learning phase, and I'm going to help him the best that I can, and I'm going to try to help him get some good gear to film with. If we can get him a good GoPro camera, one of the newer ones, and a couple of accessories for it, it's a great start.
Guys, the only thing that I'm videoing with is my phone. Work's been a little slow, you know. Like I said, I'm trying to get away from the environmental company, so I've been turning down a lot of jobs with that, and I'm hoping and praying that the painting business will kick off a little bit better. But I do exterior and interior house painting. I've done that most of my life since I was about 16. But like I was saying, like Donnie was saying, all this is new to me, and at this moment, all I have to video with is my phone, my cell phone, and I'm not sure how the videos are going to turn out and how the quality is, you know. So, guys, please be patient with me. You know, Donnie's trying to help me through it, and I really appreciate him. And we'll just see where this thing goes, you know. Here soon, I'm hoping that the fishing tournaments in my line of fishing will kick off. I fish a lot of flathead catfish tournaments down here, and maybe I can be able to post some videos of that. I don't, you know. There's going to be people that's into it, and there's people that's not into that kind of stuff, you know. And I respect that, you know. That's just fishing in the outdoors, you know, is it's in my blood. It's part of me. You know, I've got some sort of connection with the land. You know, and it's my life. You know, it's, other than my children. You know, the outdoors is my everything. That's all I have.
Well, God created all of that, you know, and you're not dabbling in man-made garbage. You're out there in nature, you know, firsthand of the creatures, the beings that God placed here for us, whether for our pleasure or for nourishment to our bodies, and being surrounded in the outdoors, just being out in the swamp, just sitting there, not hunting, not fishing, just sitting there looking. There's so much peace to it.
Donnie, the other day I was in the woods. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead, buddy.
The other day I was in the woods and I seen a bird. And this is the first time in my life I've ever seen this kind of bird. And most of my life I've either been in the woods or on the water. And this bird looked like a red-headed woodpecker, but his head was solid black. His feathers and his wings and his body was built the same way as a woodpecker, but his body was gray and his wings was a dark, dull blue color. His beak was like a woodpecker. He made the exact same sounds as a woodpecker, and I've tried to Google it to figure out what kind of bird it is. And if it's the same bird that I've found, they're native to Mexico. They're not from around here, and I've never seen that kind of bird in the woods before.
We're gonna have to get some footage of that.
I tried, but he landed, when he came in, he sounded like a woodpecker, so I didn't pay it no mind. And then he came in a little bit closer and I caught movement, and then by the time I caught the movement with my eyes, he had came in and he landed probably 15 feet from me. And when I'm in my stand, I kind of keep my phone in the inside of my boot, that way I'm not fumbling through my pockets. I can keep my movement within my silhouette of my body, you know. And I went to reach for my phone, and I guess because he was so close, he spotted me and he was gone. But
oh wow,
he was so beautiful. It was a gift of God, you know. And
you see them rarities. It's things that a lot of people don't get to see, and we're blessed that God provided us with a good place that we're allowed to get out there and go hunting and share these experiences. And that's one of the great things about what we're doing on YouTube with Standing Goats Rescue and with Claghorn Outdoors. We're going to be sharing that type of stuff with you guys. Chris is going to be doing more and more filming. He's limited to how much filming he can do because he uses his phone. And you can't be in the woods, especially by yourself, with a phone with the battery about dead. Something happens to you, you're in a bad way. And so I'm gonna try to do what I can to help him, to get him a camera. He needs a regular camera so he can keep his phone free in the event an emergency happens. He can call for help and use his GPS where we can get to him, or the EMS, whoever needs to get to him can get to him. But we're gonna until we can get him a camera set up, he will be filming with his phone, so the videos will be short to preserve battery life, but they will be coming. And just bear with him. It's going to be a slow process to get it up and going and get the videos going, and learning how to edit them alone can be really overwhelming if you don't have a little guidance, a little help on all the stuff with the video editing that you don't even need to fool with. You start trying to dabble into all of it, it really messes you up, and it almost caused me to get out of the videos work altogether. And I finally figured out, just use the bare necessities on the editing, just what you need to put a title up, in credits and highlights of your video. You know, all the other stuff is just nonsense to confuse us, but he'll be learning how to do all that. So the videos, you guys that have joined him, thank you so much for subscribing to his family.
Yes, guys, thank you.
Chris is my brother. I'd give my life for this man, and that goes on or off camera. Regardless of what happens, I'll always be there for him. And there's certain people that God will put in your path in life, and he does it for a reason. And it's not so you have somebody to to hang out with. There's a greater purpose to it all. And I know without a doubt that he lined me and Chris up. And our whole crossing is unique in itself, but that's a story for another day.
Well, if you got the extra time, we can go into a little bit of that. I've got a few things that I want to say as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
You got nothing but time.
Well, guys, I'm gonna share a little bit of my personal life with y'all. That way y'all can get a feel of who I am a little bit. Of course, y'all know my name. It's Chris Claghorn. Well, I'm 32 years old, and my birthday's in July 17th to be exact. I've got a 6th grade education, and the reason for that is because when I was younger, my mother had a sickness, and with her sickness, I was either at home with her or I was at school sleeping. And I had a rough time at school. And if I wasn't at school and she wasn't at home, my stepdad was a commercial fisherman. And the line of fish that he was after was called flounder. And when you commercial flounder fish, you have to go at nighttime. So, like I said, if I wasn't at the house with her, making sure she was okay, and I wasn't in school sleeping, I was on the boat with my stepfather. And, well, when I turned 16, I'd moved out because there was some issues at the house, you know, with my mom's sickness and all that. But I moved out at 16, and before I moved out, I'd stayed in 6th grade for 2 years. So when I moved out, I got me a job. My first job ever was on a grouper boat, long line boat. That went okay, you know, I like that. But after I moved out, I never hung out with people my age, because for some reason I thought that people around my age, I just didn't see eye to eye with them, you know, because I had to grow up a little bit quicker than others have, you know. I'm guessing my maturity level was a little bit higher.
Oh yeah.
So the age group that I'm drawn to is people that's older than me. I met a fella and his wife from Panama City. That's the area that I was raised up in. They was in their 50s. And him and his wife kind of took me in, and from the time I was 16 to about the time I was 24 years old, he gave me a job. He had me work with him, and I moved in with him for a little period of time. And he kept me busy for 7 days a week, keeping me out of trouble, keeping me, you know, keeping my head straight. And I appreciate him for that, and I appreciate the Lord for connecting me with this man and his wife.
Amen.
And you know, you see me hanging out with people that's Donnie's age, just a few years older than me, because older people I see eye to eye with.
Oh yeah.
There's zero tolerance for ignorance, you know, and no drama, and that's how I like things to be. But anyways, yeah, there's a little bit about me. So and Donnie.
Yep. Yeah, we had well, Chris was saying about it. He is. I don't see Chris for his age. I see him for his mentality and what he's saying. He is so far. He's more mature than anybody I've ever met in their 40s, and that's honestly. And talking to him, and I just all my time away from home is with him, unless I'm at an appointment or something. But I trust in him, and if you don't have people you can fully trust in, you're in a frail state. and I trust in him and Brother Jeff, and I've got a good family here on YouTube, and I got a good family right here at home, and Chris is part of that, and we're trying to help him to build his YouTube family up the way that ours is. And Chris watches. He watches the videos we do. He watches the shows that we do. He's been part of it, but he's always kind of quiet and in the background, so you don't see him in the chat. Every once in a while he'll pop in and say something, but he's kind of to himself. He's always involved with his family and doing stuff, but when they're off at school and off at work, Chris and I are in the woods. Hunting season's in or hunting season's out, we're in the woods. We're hiking, we're doing something all the time. But I can absolutely relate to Chris on every level, because it's as though I'm with somebody my exact age. He sees life for what it is, a blessing, and we have full control of the life that God's given us. And there's obstacles that'll come in the way, there always will be, but Chris knows how to get around them. And I've never heard him complain, I've never heard him gripe. There's never been a problem. And he and I, like so many of us, we just have a perfect friendship. And he's my brother, and I just, if anything ever happened that he needed me, I'm there, period. That's all there is to it. And you know, I'm going to do everything that I can to help him get his channel up and going. It's important to him, and therefore it's important to me. And we want to get this up and make it work. And I wanted to bring him on today to, our schedule ain't lining up where I can bring him on a show this evening. And so I decided I'd just come over here with him and we do a little interview, just so you guys can hear him and see him in the flesh and get a feel for who he is. Everything that he shared with you guys right now is the God's honest truth. Is who he is. It's his life. He doesn't hide anything from anybody. If there's anything that pops up that he is going to keep private, he'll just tell you. He'll say it the way it is, and he's not going to be rude about it. He's never been rude to anybody. I've never witnessed anything rude coming from him, period. But if it's something that he's going to keep private, he'll let you know very respectfully, you know, this is something I prefer not to share. And it's who he is, and I love him for it. There's only one Chris Claghorn, and that's him. There's nobody that's like him. There's nobody that's close to him. And it's just an honor being a part of him. And I hope you guys will feel the same and join him on his channel and help support him. I'm part of it. I subscribe to him, and Brother Jeff subscribed, and I think we got about 17 or 18 people on it now. But it's free. It don't cost anything. If you guys want to jump over and just lift him up, support his channel, Claghorn Outdoors. I will have the link in the description below this video to where you can click on it. Hopefully it'll take you straight to his channel, but click on his channel and subscribe, and make sure to turn on your notifications. And as always, like, share, and subscribe, or like and share his videos. And if you have any advice for him to help him out, throw it in a comment. Just know that he's not on YouTube full time. He is very busy. I have very limited time to be here with him this morning. He has an appointment he has to go to. So just if he doesn't respond right away, he will, but just give him time. He is a family man. He does work a lot. He's very active, but he responds as soon as he gets at a point that he can stop and take a minute to do it. He will be responding to you. And I don't know if he's going to be sharing his email yet or not. I'm sure he will. We've talked about it. But
we can do that. Yeah, we'll
okay. Well,
I'll share the email with everybody.
What I'll do, I'll put his email in the description also. And if you guys want to reach out and just send him a greetings letter, you know, just introduce yourself to him, it would be just, it'd be awesome. You know, just touch base with him. And you guys that are bound with me, and many of you are, you know, we're brought together by Holy Spirit, then you're bound with him.
Yes, yes. You know, they say everything happens for a reason, you know, and I'm a firm
yeah.
believer in that. And they also say, the Bible says, you have nothing without faith. So if you don't have faith, you know, you're a little lost in it.
Yeah, absolutely lost.
You know, you got to have faith in everything that you do, and you got to have faith in everybody. And Donnie, you said that you mentioned earlier that I was a close friend of yours, you know, and I was like family, and I am your brother,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you would give your life for me, and I feel the same way for you.
Absolutely.
And you know, we was talking about friendships. I'm a firm believer in friendships. And friendship, you know, if I say that I'm your friend, that means I'm your friend. That means that we're not acquaintances. I believe friends are friends because friends can be trusted. You got honesty and respect and trust between one another, you know. And when I call you my friend, that's because I know that I can trust you with everything, you know. If I say that we're acquaintances, then that's what I mean. You know, there's a fine line in being a friend to somebody.
Friend and family. The only difference is one, you're connected by blood. The other, you're connected by Christ. And
That's right.
to be a friend, you are family, and we all are. You know, through the blood of Christ Jesus, Yeshua. You know, we're all connected. We got the same Father. We have to be family. We don't have a choice in the matter, but it's just a point of just loving and respecting each other. And you guys are going to learn as time goes on, and you following him and following the videos, and I'll have him on our channel too a lot on some of the videos. You're going to get to learn to who he is, learn more about him, and I think you guys are really you're going to find your comfort zone hanging out with him in a digital way, you know, on the other end of the camera, looking through the viewfinder instead of the lens. But that way you get a feel for him. You know, I wanted you guys to know who he is and what he's about, because I'm going to do everything I can to help push his channel, uplift him, and get it going. You know, he sees how much I thoroughly enjoy what I do on YouTube. I hate it that I don't have more time to dedicate to it, but I love it. You guys are family to me, and Chris is family, and so we're going to get his channel up and going. And we've got a lot of things a lot of places we're going to be going this year, and one of them, as soon as I can get the vehicle lined up, he's got some dead ends he's got to tie up with the job he's got to get away from that. But we got some areas we're going to be investigating together, and we're going to split apart, not to the point that if something happens we're in trouble, but we're going to be filming the same area, but we're going to try to cover more ground by going two different ways, kind of spread out a few 100 yards apart, and we're going to film these areas and share that footage with you. In one of the areas, there's been a lot of reported Sasquatch activity on it, and we're hoping that that's going to be happening soon, real soon. And I'll share more of that with you as we go, but we're fixing to have to wrap this up. We're getting down on a pretty low battery, so it's going to cut off on us anyway here in a few minutes. But if you've stayed with us this long, thank you so very much. I'm so excited that Chris is finally has the opportunity to get his channel going, and we're going to make this thing work. But the majority of it is going to depend on you guys' support also and helping him. If you have advice for him, please, you know, and the same goes for me. If you have some advice for me, pass it on. I need all the advice I can get. I'm learning at this every day that goes by, and we're going to get him up and going soon. And as soon as we can get him a good, dependable camera, we can free up his phone. There's going to be a lot more content coming at a higher pace, and it won't be little 3-minute videos. There'll be longer videos. He just can't kill the battery on his phone while he's out in the woods. That's his safety line, and it's not good to be in the swamps of Florida with a dead phone.
You know, Donnie, you had mentioned a couple weeks ago that, and before that, you'd mentioned you wanted us to sit pretty close together and video each other's hunts.
Yeah.
Well, we're running out of time in our hunting season this year, and actually, one of the areas that we hunt this coming up weekend is the last weekend to be able to hunt deer out there.
Sunday.
And I would like for us to be able to get together maybe one day this weekend and video each other hunting, and possibly bagging our game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we can, with the weather permitting, because we've got a lot of bad weather this coming week. This week that we're in, and if everything lines up, maybe we'll have Saturday and Sunday to where we can do that. But if not, we'll try and tie things up other areas.
Chris and I have talked for several months about putting up some hunting videos of the entire hunt, going to the stand, these areas we're hunting at, setting up just the whole, everything that encompasses the hunt, and sharing it. And what we're going to end up doing, we are going to be filming videos like that, and we're going to be putting those on Claghorn Outdoors. They'll be on his YouTube channel, and we're going to have a lot of hunting stuff to go on there. I filmed a lot of the stuff. I film all of my hunts when I hunt, but I don't share everything. My channel's kind of in a different direction, but if I do end up having, I haven't made anything, no harvest this year, but if I do get some harvest filmed, I'm going to be passing my video on to him as well as his own videos, and we're going to have all the hunting stuff will be on Claghorn Outdoors. The fishing stuff, hunting stuff, anything having to do with the sport of being outdoors, we're going to have that stuff on Chris's channel, Claghorn Outdoors. And you guys just follow it, make sure your notifications are on, so when we do start posting that type of content, you can jump over and check it out. And Chris is like I am. He doesn't believe in disrespecting the animals, so there won't be no showing you the wounds and how much damage is done. There will be none of that.
There might be a little blood in the background, but as far as, in the background on the ground or on the boat or whatever, but as far as showing you anything gory, and like Donnie was saying, disrespecting the animal, no, there's not going to be none of that. So,
yeah, it'll be family safe video content, so you don't have to worry with foul language or anything of that sort. Chris doesn't drink, he doesn't mess with drugs, he does nothing. He's like I am, kind of a homebody that has half the life outdoors, the other half in the home, but he's right there with me. But guys, thank y'all so much. Brother, thank you for being here with me today.
Thank you.
God bless you. I love you. I love all y'all. And just keep your eyes open. Listen for the notifications for the new content coming over to Claghorn Outdoors. And we will be seeing you guys very soon. God bless you. And until then, be safe.
Thank you, guys.